talking about stuff. The one thing I want to get to then, you talk about money in this organization, because I'll get into it. The question I have is with a company called NNDS. Let's talk about this company for a second. It's my understanding that teachers have been given an opportunity to write the curriculum and to get a stipend for writing this curriculum. I understand that. Then they give their curriculum to a company called NNDS. Then PA Cyber actually has to buy that curriculum back, which I don't even understand how that works. Let's just throw a number out there. Let's say this is one of your biggest expenses. I'm going to guess it is. Let's just throw a number of $40 million we're giving to NNDS. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Sir, please, can you get to the
I'm trying. Is there anyone on the board who might be able to talk to this organization to see if they can reduce the cost? Can you reduce? Is there anyone on the board if you ever sat down with NNDS and said, is this the best price? And if it's not, what am I paying for out of this? Where is this $40 million going to when it comes to this curriculum? Is there anyone on the board? Mr. Elder, do you know anyone on the board that might know someone at NNDS? He doesn't have to answer that because I already know his son works for them.
Please can you finish it?
If you got them to cut their cost and save, let's say, $4 million, they're still making $36 million. You would save every job in here and have some money. Have you ever just sat down and asked them? You know, you got a person on the board whose son works for them. That's a conflict of interest.
You need to repeat yourself. Please conclude your remarks.
I don't know how you could vote to go to NNDS when you got somebody on this board who has a son who works for NNDS.
Do you have any other comments that are relevant to the agenda items?
Remember this when I leave, and I'm going to end it here. A person who feels appreciated will always do more than what is expected. Treat employees like they make a difference, and they will.
Emily.
So I think I can speak for everyone when I say that this has been the longest month of our lives. People keep asking me, do you have a job? And I'm like, well, yes, but no, I don't know. So we've been left in limbo. We have no idea. Basically, it's ruined my summer. I mean, from the beginning of June until July, the weather was terrible. And then July it started to get nice, and then we got a bomb drop on us. So basically the summer's ruined. And I'm kind of mad. I'm just mad about it. It's draining. It's not a game. This isn't Vegas. We're not gambling. These are our livelihoods. We're people that have families. We need to work. We just want to get back to work. We love what we do, all of us. We wouldn't be in this profession if we didn't love it. That's why we're here. So I've always gone above and beyond. I think I'm a pretty good teacher. I have a pretty good rating. And in my 4 years here, I've seen a lot of changes. And I know there are plenty of others who have been here longer than me who have seen even more changes. But regardless of the time that any of us have spent here, we're the ones on the front lines. We're dealing with the students. We're dealing with the parents. We're dealing with the families. We're the ones talking to them. We know what works. We want to know what doesn't. We know why they're leaving, or why they're going to ride the school year out and then they're going to look at other options. They're the ones telling us. They're not telling any of you guys that. We know. We know what works. So why aren't you listening to us? I remember when I started, I'm pretty sure there was a place on SharePoint where you could go and you could share ideas, or suggestions, or whatever. And I'm pretty sure of that because I remember Craig Jeffers said that he came up with the name of Tech People. liked Trapper Keeper from Katie's little binder. So the call log that we adopted was called Tracker Keeper. I think we shared that in there. So I guess then when we shared ideas on SharePoint, people listened. But it seems like that's kind of fallen on deaf ears at this point. Nobody really listens anymore. So I looked over, and in January of last year, I had 10 students in my 8 o'clock class. By February, it grew to 16. My 12 o'clock class began the year with 7 students. By March, it grew by 5. And in April, I finished the year with 14. My 1 o'clock class started with 14 students. By October, I had 20, and by December, I had 22. You're probably wondering why I'm throwing out those numbers. To prove that we grew throughout the year. We started our classes, our year with a certain number, and students came. We were getting students. I remember in like April and May, all of us teachers are talking. We're like, I just got a new student. I just got a new student. I just got 3 new students. I gotta, go through another walkthrough with them because we did that with our students. We took the time and we made sure they knew what they needed to do because that's what we do. So I'm just trying to piece together where this lack of enrollment is. Because as far as I experienced, we had students coming in. So is the issue retention? Are we losing them? Are they coming in and they're leaving as fast as they come in? Why are they leaving? Why is nobody listening to us? Everybody has said we know why they're leaving. We're the ones that know that, but nobody's listening to us. Why? We're seeing the issues firsthand. So, to piggyback on what my husband said, a leader should lead the way to fix the problem. But they shouldn't do it alone. We're here. We want to help. We want to help fix the problem of PA Cyber to keep it #1 cyber charter school in Pennsylvania. But some people don't want us. We're all in this together. We have 43 people, is it 42? We don't know. That are fully invested in it. So I just ask the board to think about that tonight when you're voting. Because we're here and we want to make a difference.
I'd like an answer to my point of order question.
No. Audrey,
I'd like an answer from my point of order question. I'm directing it to the chair. The chair has the responsibility to field questions. You are governed by the rules of parliamentary procedure. That's in your bylaws. This is parliamentary procedure. Look under your Robert's Rules of Order. A point of order, a point of clarification, it's necessary to be answered from the CEO of the meeting.
it was answered.
No, it wasn't. I said, where did you get the 60 minutes? Because you see, here's the problem.
You want the answer, or you're going to keep asking the question?
Go ahead, answer.
We are permitted to set not only reasonable amount of time for public comment, but also, if the comments begin to become repetitive, you aren't obligated to listen to the same type of comment over and over and over again until it's exhausted. We have set a reasonable amount of time. Everybody in here has been generally respectful of that. We're going to get through everybody's comments.
I don't know who "we" is. See, because in order for "we" to do anything, you have to have a meeting. In order to have a meeting where something's determined, you have to have a vote. And that's why you violated the Sunshine Law on July 20th, and that's why you're doing it again tonight. Did anybody, I want to ask
We've
Phil.
answered your question.
Phil, did you have a vote on this? Did you determine 60 minutes?
You're out of order. We've answered your question. We will now have
I'm on the list, and I want to talk.
Audrey Murphy.
I want to know now, have you made a new rule that says you're going to do it sequentially?
Okay, Mr. Hagan, any more and we're gonna have you removed. You're out of
You're
order.
going to have me removed. You're going to go back to Pittsburgh before you try that.
Mr. Hagan, stop.
You have
You're
10
embarrassing,
minutes.
you're
I want to know
embarrassing
what you're going to do at
You're
7
embarrassing
o'clock.
yourself and your clients.
7 o'clock.
Audrey Murph, you're next on the list, please.
Right here.
Where? I'm sorry.
To your comment of there, Emily, it is 43 Tony Morrow was let go as well. His position is currently posted, but he's not on the list. He's not on the list we received on August 5th, and he's not on the list for tonight. But Tony has been let go. He had no idea. He was never contacted. He's never missed one day of work in 10 years. He's the beloved Italian teacher, and the students loved him, and all of the staff loved him. And even on the day that his mother passed away, that man went into his classroom and taught because he believed in PA Cyber. And he's on, well, he got cut, but he's not on the list. And also, I did look at some of these numbers, and from what Michelle said, it is correct. There were a lot of things that have changed drastically since the days of the virtual class department. And because the virtual classroom department was split up the way it was and reconstruction had taken place, there were 8 positions that were brought in from the outside. When we had certified staff here at PA Cyber that could have filled those 8 positions, 8 positions alone was, and these 8 positions alone were almost $700,000. And when you take into consideration the pay increases for all of the executive administrators, that would have saved over $1 million. By letting off these 43 people, you have saved roughly $2 million. So if you would have hired from within, if this board would have been fiscally responsible and hired from within our qualified staff that we already had on payroll, you could have saved this school this headache, the bleeding, the hemorrhaging that's taking place right now with all of our students and our families bailing. That's why they're upset. That's why we're upset. This never should have happened. And the board is responsible just as much as the executive administrators.
Well said, Audrey.
I just wanted to speak. I've been here for 5 years. I've filled various positions from when we started at building blocks all the way through where we're in different centers, satellite offices. I've done it all. I've taught every single grade from early kindergarten to 6th grade. Filled in for maternity leaves. And I was so excited when I finally got my virtual class to teach 3rd grade. And it was very important that 3rd grade did an amazing job this year because of PSSAs. We worked so hard to make sure our kids were prepared. And all the other teachers worked extremely hard to make sure our kids were prepared. We traveled to sites, we left our families. When I was called on July 21st to tell me that I didn't have a job anymore, that was 10 days before my wedding. That I had to put my new family on hold because of these decisions. Now I can't be with my students anymore to make a difference. I care for my students so much, it hurts. I go above and beyond for them, as do everyone else in this room. I strongly ask you to please think about this decision before you do that. And get rid of all of us because we're here fighting for our students because we don't want them to suffer.
Yeah, right here. I started here, I don't even know, 9, 10 years ago. I know Dr. Conti from the Title I, and I know Dr. Fauch, and I know Lakeisha. And everybody here is important. But I got my break in a virtual classroom because Nicole Gianvito, Andy Petro, and Michelle interviewed me. And I'm forever grateful for those 3. I know PA Cyber, they cut me a check, and I love working here. And it is like family to me. But our point of entry is people, and people are important. I go to church on Sunday, and You know, Paul talks about in Corinthians about the church. And the church is like a body. And the body has many members. And they all work together and they all need each other. Does the eye say to the ear, I don't need you? Where would your sense of hearing be? You know. I just think I would ask the board to really reconsider this again. You know, I could be in a 617 building. I don't know how to work the copier, so Audrey does it for me. You know, I need it. You know, I see Whitney. You know, that's important to me. You know, other people in the course of PA Cyber over the time I've been here, they're all important. That's what makes it go. So I would kindly ask the board to please reconsider again. Thank you.
Andrea Cook.
Okay, so the teacher's gonna come out me and I got some visual aids going on here. And some quotes. And I'm gonna start with one of your quotes again from court. Okay, so, in court, you stood up there and you looked at the judge. And you looked at John and you were like, people lose jobs every day in this country. It happens, right? Get it, it does happen. But let's evaluate who lose their jobs. Mailmen, mailwomen. Why? Because we have email. Newspapers might be declining. Why? Because we look online. Clothing stores. Why? Because we don't like to close. There are reasons that things shut down or why people lose their jobs. So why us? Okay? We've got to evaluate this. Why are we losing the jobs? So, our students come here. Medical problems, teen pregnancy, extremely talented and traveling around to do their talent. Safety concerns in their local districts. They want to excel faster. Those things have not changed. Our audience has not changed. So why are the students leaving? Their needs have not changed. So why are we not needed? Doesn't make sense. So, years ago, we were once delivered books to our desks. And these books were called Our Iceberg is Melting. So, we all had to read this book, and we had workshops on this, and we had to know who the characters were, and we had to pick which character were you most like. And right now, in our executive, in the upper echelon, I see a bunch of no-nos. That's who's in here. We're supposed to be helping each other here. We used to have team meetings and sit together and go on fun trips and have team building is what we used to do. And now, our iceberg's not melting. You're just coming in with a pickaxe and just chopping this thing up right as you go. There's no such thing as melting. So rather than, let's sit down and figure out how do we retain students. The last meeting, I discussed our core values, and I missed innovation. And that is one of the core values we have left in the dust. We stopped innovating. All we keep doing is changing technology, changing the LMS, changing the student information system. And the student information system was the very first time, as just a regular employee, that I was contacted by these two people right here, Eric and Nicole, to actually sit because they wanted to hear just a regular person. What's your opinion? What's working? What's not working? Let's put our thoughts together and see how can we make this better. Let's talk to the people that actually use this stuff. Because you don't use it, you don't use it, you don't use it, you don't schedule students. We use this stuff and you don't even ask us our opinions. We're just thrown all these different technologies and websites, and every year we gotta relearn it all over again. So if we're frustrated, imagine these families who aren't tech savvy. And you're gonna keep telling these people over and over again, oh, we got a new system, we got a new system, we got a new system. Sorry, we can't schedule you yet. We're getting a new system. That's frustrating. And we're not the problem. These kids are leaving. Whoever's making these decisions are making our families fresh